Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve day 21 problem on LeetCode. So in this problem, let's read the problem statement first. So you are a professional robber planning to rob houses along a street, and each house has a certain amount of money stashed. The only constraint stopping you from robbing each of them is that adjacent houses have security systems connected, and it will automatically contact the police if two adjacent houses were broken into on the same night. So we have given one integer array nums, and it is representing the amount of money of each house, and we have to return the maximum amount of money that you can rob tonight without alerting the police. Okay, so we can't rob the adjacent houses. So let's say if you rob this house number 1, then the only houses that you can rob is either 3 or this one. Okay, any one of these. Okay, so here this is not a simple problem like if let's say many people, what they are doing, they are just counting the sum of odd indexes, like that is a sum of this this house and then sum of this house. They are storing one value here. Let's say what they are doing, they are storing the sum of even indexes and odd indexes. So here for this is 0 index, this is 2 index. So what is the sum of even indexes? 4. And what is the sum of odd indexes? That this is index 1 and this is index 3. Then total sum is 3. Then many people, what they are doing, they are just calculating the sum of even index and odd index values, and then checking which one is maximum among them, and then returning the output as this 4. Same way they are for this example, they are thinking the same way. 2, 9 and 1 is 12, 7 plus 3 is 10 only. So they are just returning the sum as 12. So but this is not the case here. Okay, otherwise this problem is of easy level. So here let's understand this with this example. So let's say this array is given to us, and in this array it looks like this. So this is 2 1 1 2. Okay, so here if a person rob this house and then he can't rob this one, then only choice is this one. So then total sum is 3. Okay, if the person rob this house, then the only choice he has is to rob this house. Okay, this is his only choice. Then the total sum is also 3. But this is also one of the case. If he robs this house, he skipped this one, he skipped this one as well, he robbed this house next. Then in that case, what is the total output, total result? 4. So we have to return the 4 here. Okay, so now there are total 2 methods in which we can solve this problem. One is using recursion, top-down approach, and one is using iteration, using bottom approach. So let's first solve this problem using recursion. Okay, and then in the end I will also show you how we can solve this problem using iteration. So now let's get started. So first create one memoization array. Okay, so in this memoization array we are going to store the result. So because in recursion we are calling same function again and again. Okay, and it is going to take some time and space. So to resolve that issue, we are going to implement this memoization technique. So if we are going to just store the value that recursion is calling if we have already called that value in this memo, so that we don't need to call the function again and again. We simply have the result stored in the memo. Okay, so for that purpose I am going to create one memoization array, and now let's initialize it. Memo is equal to new int, and here pass the length as nums dot length plus 1. Okay, and then now let's fill each index of this memo array with -1. Okay, arrays dot fill of this memo with -1. Okay, now after that we are just going to call one more function let's name it same rope, but here there are total two parameters that we are passing. One is this array and one is the length of our names array, okay, which is going to be the index. So now let's declare this method. Okay, so for that, create one method private int rope, and here pass this array, initialize the array that we are calling nums, and here create one int I as index. And now inside that, first we are checking if there is no element in our array. If I is less than 0, index is less than 0, then in that case we are just going to return 0. Okay, and here one more thing. If initially we have stored the value at each index of this memo as -1, so now here I am checking if memo of I value is greater than equal to 0. If we have already stored the value of this memo at this particular index, if we haven't stored any value, then it is -1 by default. But if we have already stored, then it is already going to be updated with some other value. So we are checking if this one is greater than -1. If yes, then we are just going to return memo of I. Okay, then in the end I am going in the int result. Okay, so now let's understand one thing here. So this is array given to us. Okay, 2 1 1 2. Okay, so if you are here, okay, so you can rob this house. Okay, you can rob this house, current house, you can rob it, or you can rob all these houses before that, because no adjacent houses, we can rob the adjacent houses. So here you can rob this one. Okay, so we are going to get the value of rob of the array, this array, and the value at this index. This is 0 index. Okay, so this is one choice. Either you can rob current house or the value that you have already collected till here. Okay, current house or the value you have collected till here. Or you have one option that what is the value that you have collected till here, previous index, if you don't want to rob this house. If you have robbed this house, what is the value collected here till now? Row of array, and here index 1. Okay, so here for this current, so what is the index here? 0 1 2. Okay, so here I am passing 0, or I can say it is n-2. This is my current. Okay, so this is current now, so n-2, and here I can say it is n-1, right? So one condition is this one and one condition is this one. Okay, so now this is only thing I am going to write here in the result. So I am going to get the max of math.max, and inside that I am going to check if what is the value at rows of nums comma I-2 plus current value. Current value means nums of I or the previous value, row of nums of I-1. And if we get some result here, then I'm going to store that value in the mem of I, and in the end I'm just going to return the result. Okay, so now let's run our code first, and then I will show you how this is working step by step. Arrays.fill. Okay, it is arrays, not array. Arrays.fill. Okay, so now again let's run the code. So all the test cases has been passed. Now let me submit it to see if all the test cases are passed and our solution is accepted or not. So awesome, so our solution is accepted with just 0 millisecond runtime. Okay, and it beats 100% of users with Java. Okay, but here now, okay, before that let's understand how this is working. Okay, so let me copy these codes here. font size small. Okay, so here first we have declared this memo array. Okay, and here I fill the value at as my memo as -1 at each index. Then I'm calling this method, and inside this method first here see nums.length minus I. So what is the length of this array? It is 4, and here nums.length is 4 minus 1, so 3. So I am passing initially is 3, and nums, this is array. So initially when I is 3, so I'm going to check this condition. So this is not true, so no need to do anything. Here I check memo of 3. What is memo of 3? So memo is looking like this: -1, -1, -1, -1, -1, because the total length is 5, right? Nums.length is 4 plus 1, 5, and I filled each index value as -1. So I when I'm here, so I'm going to skip this step as well. Then in the result, math.max robes of nums of I minus 2. So I is 3, so here I am calling for math.max robes of nums of 1. Okay, so here I am calling a row of nums of 1 plus what is the value of nums of I? That is 3, right? Nums of I is 3 now. So what is the value of nums of I? 3 is 2, right? So here let me write 2, and here I am going to call function rob, and in this rob nums and I value is 3, so 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to call. Okay, this is the value which is stored at math.max int result. Okay, so now once this is done, so here you see I have passed this 1 because 3 minus 2 is 1, and here 3. So now after that I am going to, what is my iteration going to do? It is going to solve this one first, this robes of nums of 1. So here again nums, here I is going to be 1, then okay, we are going to solve for this specific part, robes of nums of 1. Okay, so when I is 1, it is going to check this condition, and here mem of 1 is greater than equal to 0. This is also not true. Then again this function. So now what will happen here? It is going to be look like this: int result is equal to math.max row of nums, comma. So I is 1. So now 1 here, see 1 minus 2 is minus 1. 1 i's value is 1 na. So here i's value is 1 na. So that is why now it is updated to -1. Okay. Yeah, -1, and rows of nums of -1 plus what is the value of nums of I? That is 1. At 1 it is 2, comma row of nums of 0, row of nums of 0. Okay, so this is what is going to happen here. Okay, alright, so when my I is 1, so row of nums of -I, nums of 1 is 2, right? Here, from here, then 1 minus 1, 0. So this is what happens. Okay, now after that I am going to solve for this one, rows of nums of -I. So -1, when I pass -1 in this I value, then it is less than 0. Then in that case it's going to return 0, 0 plus 2, and then what is nums of 0? Row of nums of 0. Then here I pass 0. So this is not executed. Then mem of 0 is greater than equal to 0. no, this is also -1, so again I reach here. So I am going to write one result method here, same way for nums of 0. So here it becomes rows of nums comma, when I is 0, then it becomes -2 comma, what is the value of 0, nums of 0 is 2, plus 2 comma, and then rows of num comma -1. This is what is happening, right? So when this is happening, then here again see, when I is 0, so I write everything is -2, nums of 0 is 2, and what is the value of nums of 0 -1 is -1. So this value again -1 I checked. So when I is -1, then it is going to return 0. Here nums -2 is less than 0, so it is also going to return 0. So 2 is only here. So here this value is also giving 2. So in total, what is the value of result that I get? 2. Okay, so when I get this result 2, then in memo of 0, I am going to store the result as 2. Okay, and then so here you can do one thing here to better understanding. Just add one lines here. So here what is the value of I that I am calling? So here system dot out dot, in this way you can debug how step by step it is working. Okay, print ln, just write one line print ln, and here I is, and here just write print the value of I. What is the value of I? And here we are going to see step by step how this memo I is updating. So for that, system dot out dot print ln, and here inside that memo, here this one, then plus I plus this one, delete. Okay, is plus memo of I. Right, now let's run our code and see how it is working step by step. Okay, so here do one more thing. This is a code, okay, and this is test cases, so add one more test case. So this is our test case now, which I am taking right now to explain to you guys 212. Now let's run it to debug for this particular example. So here see, first my I is 3 only. Okay, my I is 3 only. Few more. Okay, 2 1 1 2. Okay, so first case I is 3, right? So first case I is 3, that's what I told you, I is 3. Then my I becomes 1 because I am going to solve this one first. Rows of nums of I 3 minus 2 is 1, then I becomes 1. Then when solving I is equal to 1, I pass again 1 here, then 1 minus 2 becomes -1. Then for this particular loop I minus 1, I'm going to solve. Then I is equal to 0, I'm going to solve. I minus 2, I'm going to solve. I minus 1, I'm going to solve. Then after that I'm going to memo of 0 is 2. So here this is what happening. First I solved for this 3 nums of 3, then 3 of -1, 3 of -2 is -1, then I solved with this one, then I solved with -1. So 3 1 -1 and then -2. So 3 1 -1. Okay, 3 1 -1. Then after that it is going to, I am going to calculate it for 0, then 0 for -1. So this is what is happening step by step. If you see, then memo 0 is updated to 2, memo 1 is updated to 2, then I2 I0 I become 1, then memo 2 is 3 4. So this is how this code is working step by step. So just write this system.out.println lines to debug the code step by step. So this is one approach. This is top-down approach in which recursion is used. We are using recursion, and here you see in this result math.max. So total 2 times we are calling. We are checking one thing, that can we row this house or can we not row this house. So time complexity is O of 2 raised to power 9. But there is one more solution which is more easy than this one. Okay, so now let's write the code using iteration. Okay, so now in iteration we are just going to use a Fibonacci series. Okay, so first if there are no houses, okay, that means if num's total length is equal to 0, then in that case we have to just return the 0 only. Okay, this is one case. If there are no houses, then you can't row anything. Great. And after that, create 2 variables. Just like in Fibonacci series, we are first storing the first number and previous number, something like that. So same approach we are going to use here, but here the previous one house is 0 and previous 2 is equal to 0. So the order is like this. So first prev 2 house comes, then prev 1 house come, then prev 1 house come, and then after that our current house will come. So this is the order in which it is working. Okay, prev 2, prev 1, prev num. So now what I am doing inside this, I am using one for each loop. So I am going one by one house. Okay, int num, in this nums, one by one I am going to one by one house. Then in the temp, I am creating one temporary variable in temp. In this temporary variable, I am going to store the value of prev1. Okay, what is the value of prev1? Okay, now in prev1 I am updating. Here again I am just checking this same thing, na, math.max. Here, can I, if I have robbed this prev2 house, then I can rob this num house. Okay, because prev2 and num are not adjacent. So if I rob this prev2, then I can rob this num. Okay, or can I just get the value which is stored at prev1, this one. Okay, so 2 things that I can do. And then after that in prev2 I am just going to store the value of temp, and in the end I am just going to return prev1. Okay, so for this problem time complexity is of n and space complexity is of 1. Okay, so our all the test cases has been passed. Now let's submit our solution. So our solution is accepted as well. Okay, so this is iterative approach. So I hope that you guys are clear with today's problem, and if you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Thank you, bye bye, and meet you in the next video. Thank you.